There is much hullabaloo regarding the new EU data protection laws coming out later in May. This is a good thing, since the last data protection laws were made in the 90s and the world is a completely different place now. As we approach the Internet of Things, where everything is connected and everything shares data, privacy is an important issue. This new law, hopefully, allows you the right to be forgotten, have your data wiped. And so data held and used by a company without your consent will be illegal, with fines of up to 20 million euros. Now, why does an EU law affect a business like the Watchtower in America? It's because this law is global in reach. Regardless of where you are on the planet, if your business monitors the activities of a European, you are accountable to this law. Part of the law means that when getting written consent for use of your data, it must be written in a clear, unambiguous language. So let's look at Watchtower's effort. Here we have the notice and consent for use of personal data. So we're told, upon becoming a publisher, I acknowledge that the worldwide religious organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, including my congregation, local branch office, and similar cooperating organizations of Jehovah's Witnesses, lawfully uses my personal data in accordance with its legitimate religious interests. Well, unfortunately, I can't acknowledge that you will lawfully use my personal data because I've no idea what you do with my data. So that's very difficult to consent to. It goes on to say, I consent to the use of my personal data so that I may participate in some religious activities in connection with my worship. Well, that's a really ambiguous statement. What are some activities I can't participate in if I don't sign? You don't say which ones I can and can't. You then say, I also agree that my personal data may be sent to any of the cooperating organizations of Jehovah's Witnesses which may be located in countries whose laws provide different levels of data protection, and they're not always equivalent to the level of data protection in the country in which I currently reside. So you're saying I agree to you taking my data and giving it to whatever organization that you may have in whatever country that may have no laws whatsoever, and it'll be safe. That'll be fine. Interesting. Then, of course, you say that I consent to the use of my personal data as stated on that page, and that may be amended from time to time. So you can change it whenever. And will I be told when it's been amended? And will I be given the choice to sign a new form? No chance. Alright, now I just want to go back to a bizarre little statement that I missed out on purpose. It says, I consent to the use of my personal data so that I may receive spiritual support. What? How does my data help me receive spiritual support? I know what you might be thinking. This means that elders can look at my report card and see that I'm struggling, and so loving shepherds can come and tell me that I need to do more. But no, it's not talking about that. You see, whether you sign or not, you get to keep your record card with your name on it, by the way. So if we go over to this instructions PDF, if someone refuses to consent, oh dear, they're obviously aware that this will likely happen with some at least. Now notice it says, if consent for the use of personal data is not provided, the individual may remain a publisher. Wow, isn't that kind of them? But then it says, and the congregation may keep his personal data related to his activity as a publisher, including the information recorded on his congregation publisher record card. So you have your record card whether you sign the data form or not. And so what mystical data will allow me to receive spiritual support? We don't know. It's very ambiguous. So, if better data protection is good for us, why is this a problem if you're a Jehovah's Witness? Well, sadly, it's because a JW must see things as either black or white. right or wrong, good or bad. You must be obedient to those setting the lead among you. You must follow theocratic direction. It's Jehovah, really, who's asking you to sign. So will you listen, obey, and be blessed? Because if you don't, the elders are instructed there, notice, the secretary is to inform the body of elders if any publisher refuses to complete the consent form. And again, on the other document, it mentions the secretary should keep the body of elders informed if anyone refuses to complete the form or later revokes his consent. Your name will come up in an elders meeting. A shepherding call will be had. You might be an apostate, uncooperative, a rebel, independent thinker. You now have a target on your back. But you might ask, surely though you can trust Jehovah's organization with your details and your data, it must be safe with them. Well, think about this. We all knew about this letter before the congregation. How do you think we get hold of leaked videos and letters and other data? How is that leaked? So really, can you trust the organization with your data? Alright, we'll leave that one there. Now, in other news, I crossed over the 1,000 subscribers recently. Yay me! And I'd just like to welcome all the new subscribers to this channel. Thank you for joining me on the edge of Dubtown, and I look forward to your company as we continue to explore the madness of life in Dubtown.
It's a celebration.